Baby dolls, you are a beautiful Raspberry Pi, and I'm going to start by telling you that you got to keep your back straight because the crowd is beautiful. The crowd is the people. Speculation, markets, things get priced in, then things don't. You can't be on the same side as a crowd. I tell you this all the time. Even though I know most people aren't going to make it. Man, at least you had a chance. Don't you want a voice of reason to tell you, hey man, yes, I wanted my portfolio to be 4 times higher than this too, but Jim Cramer's bullish. They're talking about an Ethereum ETF. All the top signals are here. You have to do something. Even if it's a small 5% retracement of your portfolio, just trim it off. It's better than nothing. The crowd, friends, the crowd. I love talking about the crowd. I make sure all these videos, you like, subscribe, belly button, all. The HEX community got their PulseX, PulseChain, and HEX targets wrong. Enormously wrong for 2023. Most crypto communities are in these shadows. They're in the murky waters. You can't get a clear read on them because the community's not even there. There's no content creators. Where are they? You can't hear them. You can't see them. Soy boys running around. Where are you? You can't see them, friends. That's why all the information used in the HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX communities, you see the same Richard Hart ecosystem. It's beautiful, isn't it? Because you can grab clear indications. They're like, what? You can compare things. You can see, wow, the crowd was wrong or the crowd was right. You know, a year ago, HEX was about 2.5 cents. The crowd expected 25 cents. Let's go back and explore. I know you like exploring, friends. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Let's put it on a chart here. So the crowd, okay, the crowd, this was 2.5 cents. You go back to about October 2023. It's about here, friends. There you go. Well, sorry, friends. It was about 3 cents. Ouch. Why I'm saying ouch is we're worse than I thought. Like, wow, that's bad. Okay, so I'm just being honest, friends. Okay, the crowd expected 25 cents. You understand? 25 to 30 cents. It expected around 7, 8, 9, 10x by the end of 2024. So they expected this pattern. They expected, whoa. They didn't get that, right? And they didn't get that. Instead, they got Neo and all the scam dumpers went on top of us, all right? That's what happened. You see this big difference? This is a deviation. Now, this bottom one, the real combined HEX price is this. So that's the actual real price here. So you see this line here? That's the actual real price. But you can see, man, this is a big difference, man. Friends, this is a 90% drop from the expectations. That means you got to divide the target by 10. Wow. Oh, that hurts. Don't worry. It happens in every community. I watch them all. I watch many. I've got eyes and ears and fluffy slippers everywhere. All right. The crowd's always wrong. Also, another interesting take. People will say, well, bulls are always wrong in a bear market and bears are always wrong in the bull market. Yes. At the end of the day, though, what's priced in? You got to think about this. So that's what the crowd expected. See this wild deviation, man. Look how big this is, friends. Just please, like, look at it, man. You know, I'm going to reward you with a sick guitar beat. But I just got to tell you, man, you got to divide the crowd by 10. In a bull market, though, you might have to divide it by 3. Let me get this sick guitar beat, friends. Are you ready for it? It's going to crank. It's going to crank your face off. I hope you're ready. See that? So much I love and appreciate you. Who else is bringing you the sickest beats? What about PulseChain and PulseX, though? So, PulseChain and PulseX, they were expected to be 10x above day one SAC within the first 6 months, you know? Now, I know, tongue-in-cheek, friends, a lot of people, when they're talking about Pulse and PulseChain, what they'll say is they'll use a bit of hyperbole. They'll say, well, you guys, you all expected 1,000x on the first day, right? And I was there, man. I love you, boys and girls and squirrels and ducks. Don't you dare gaslight everyone. All right? Don't gaslight them. Don't gaslight us. I didn't hear anybody saying 1,000x. We were talking about 10. We weren't talking about the biggest moonshot dreams. Let's land on Venus. The same people who are talking about that, there's the same number of people who said, well, PulseChain's never going to launch. So you have Eric, dear Eric, saying it's never going to launch. Eric is completely counterbalanced by the people who said 1000x. So you can basically square them off. Everyone expected 10x above day one sack. We didn't get it, all right? For PulseX, instead, we got minus 92% below day one sack. Ouch. That's brutal. You might also say, what about the SEC? Well, friends, the corrupt SEC, we were already down 72%. So we had a date with destiny down at the bottom. It's interesting. The crowd, though, once again, think about it, okay? Look, if we go back, I'm going to show the PulseX, which is real DeFi chart. I'll put a log here, okay? I marked the 10x from day one sack. So the crowd expected that we were like going to be, by the end of 2024 here, that we were going to be, sorry, by the end of 2023, wow, we expected, we expected here, bang. Instead, so, oh my gosh, we're down 99. Is that real? Oh my God, friends. We're down 99% from where everyone expected. Wow. We are, you divided everyone's expectations by 50. Ouch. That hurts. Wow. Okay, maybe we finished. I know, I'm just friends. It's funny. Look, we're going to make it. It's just, when you see these, I don't want you to think it's over, but I want you to think, wow, if I was doing leverage and I did not have the luxury of time, I would be wrecked. I would lose everything. That's the lesson here. The lesson is, oh my God, they flipped heads 7 times in a row. Surely we're going to flip tails. No, then they flip heads another 7 times in a row. You see that? That's how you have to interpret it. You think, oh, well, golly gee, I mean, if I'm not leveraged, I get to survive. That's the benefit here. That's why I'm here as a messenger to tell you, you're my friend, keep your back straight. Please make sure you enjoy that Kit Kat from the fridge. Top shelf, very cold, friends. Cold chocolate's better than hot chocolate, but hot chocolate has its place. That's a big deviation, man. I'm just in shock at how much, that's a huge deviation from everyone's expectations. Now that I've seen this explains when I did a poll. I did a poll and I said, hey, would you do another Richard Heart sacrifice? Emphatically, and I'm just to tell everyone, a lot of the maxis and a lot of the hardcore believers, and I remember what they were saying in 2021 when things were going up, I was shocked. Some of them came out just flat out and said, this has been terrible, man. I don't want anything to do with it. I feel sorry for my family. Yeah, so that's people really speaking how they feel. Of course, but, you know, some green candles fixes all of that. It does, right? So now you can see PulseChain and PulseX. This explains a lot, by the way. Now, friends, I'm glad I went through this with you. Why? I was wondering, hey, why are the ratios, why are they giving me free money? Right? Why is HEX Pulse, for example, PulseX, you know, why is it down here and no one is cheering on PulseChain and PulseX as much as they should be? And I realized, oh, that's why. Where you expected PulseChain and PulseX to be is way further than where you expected HEX. And I know this from the crowd, the wisdom of the crowd. I did this in the surveys and the polls. That's why I find this information out. I want to find out so we can all share, okay? Because the difference between HEX, where it is and where everyone expected, was just 90% lower. So it was 1/10 divided by 10. But with PulseChain and PulseX, golly gee, you divided up by like 50, man. What about PulseChain? If we go into PulseChain, PLS, I have it here. This is day one sack form from D. Eric. Yeah, it's down minus 92%. So it's still more. It's divided by like 12, 13, 14. You know, this explains a lot. Also gives you more conviction. So I know you're watching this, friends. You're paying attention. I like this trade even more now. I like it even more. Don't give up on your dreams. You know what? I think you deserve another crank, by the way. We're going to crank it. I don't care what you say. It's cheap to me. Crank it. I'm going to see a green candle appear one day, friends. I'm ready. I'm ready. Free yield on HEX if this works out. Wouldn't that be great? I like the whole ecosystem. You can't do this with anything else, by the way, because founders only stick to one coin. Even Richard Heart was sticking to one coin, right? It's beautiful that we can figure this stuff out together. If you go back and you read all the tweets and the comments, don't worry, I read them for you. Everybody said that if we got to where the prices are today. So you know where HEX is today, PulseX, everything, right? People, if you said, hey, what happens if we drop 90%? Some people said that, by the way. And the replies, they literally said, massive failure, and that is impossible because Richard Hart would never accept that. Never. And you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, well, it happened. It happened. All right. Now, if you are new, welcome, take a seat over there. Hope you're enjoying your stocks and bond portfolio. That sucks. That's even more of a consensus trade, by the way. That's a generational consensus trade if you're in 60-40 stock bond portfolio. Absolute trash. But when it comes to this, I want you to know, Richard's not dumping. The weak hands are dumping. So what does that tell you? That tells you that he doesn't have infinite money. And if people are going to dump, they just have to dump. It's outside of your control. That's why when I'm trying to tell you, we could get scammed at $80,000 Bitcoin, or we could go higher, or something can stop much earlier than you think. I'm not saying that the founders and the leaders are destroying the prices. What I'm telling you is you don't know how the crowd is going to react. You don't. But I repeat to you, we are 90% lower than the crowd's expectations. In the bear market, you have to divide those expectations by 10. But I think that's way too bearish to do something like that for a bull market. So maybe we divide it by 3. That's why whenever I see a target out there, they go, oh, I think HEX can hit $1.50. I'm like, sweet, divide it by 3. Do that, all right? When people tell me, okay, I think Bitcoin can hit 130K. See, this is the thing. Someone said to me, well, if you divide 130K by 3, okay, you're going to get 40K, and that makes absolutely no sense. Well, firstly, I'm just going to tell you, that's still possible. I don't want to say it, but it's still possible we do that. I don't want that to happen. But you have to look at it like another way. Because remember, the market changes, friends. You can't use one formula all the time. Otherwise, there wouldn't even be a market and it wouldn't have swings. You got to look at it like the returns, all right? If you go to the bottom of Bitcoin and you go up to where everyone expects like 120K, it's like a 7x, all right? But if you go to 80K, it's like a 5x. You think, okay, wait, what's going on here? Well, you can't just divide all of these by 3. Sometimes you have to just look at a percentage. So for example, people might say, well, I think Bitcoin should go 70% above its previous all-time high. 75% right here. But if you go to the scam zone, it's only like 20%. That's roughly divided by 3. You see that? Because Bitcoin is diminishing so much, we're not talking in X's anymore. We're talking in double-digit gains, not triple-digit. It stopped. There's another way to think about it. I am exploring these for you because I don't want you to fall into the trap, because people can misconstrue this and they're going to try to tell you, well, you're just not bullish enough. You're just not bullish enough, friend. Yeah, we are bullish enough, okay? We're more than bullish. We were long the whole time, Habib. By the way, I got to call you Habibi again. I appreciate you. Habibi. We were bullish the whole time. Where were you? I know where they are, friends. The truth is, they had their little $10,000 and it went down to like 2,000. And it's going to come back to the 10,000. And from that point, they say, okay, I want 100x from my point. Sweet, we're coming back. But they're not looking at everybody to the left and right, how big the other whales are, the liquidities in the pools. They're not looking at any of that. They're just looking at themselves thinking, well, I deserve 100x for my pain. Yeah, trust me. I know you deserve your 100x for the pain, but you ain't getting it. Doesn't work like that. Because everyone else is in the same boat as you. So you've learned a lot today, haven't you? But the story doesn't end here. Firstly, let's appreciate Greg with his sick glasses, his little pimp hat. Friends, if the HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX community were this wrong about the targets, where we can measure, go to Twitter, everyone's engaged, how wrong is everyone going to be about Bitcoin and Ethereum? Trust me, people who say that it's different for them because they're smarter, more maturity, ETFs. The people who think like that, they're the first ones in line to start selling on the way down. They're the ones to get wrecked. You know better than to think like a poopy head. And don't forget, I'm going to make another video on this. Mr. Classical Ape, by the way, I love it. I love this name. Okay, Mr. Classical Ape says, you see, with all the predictions of the prices, you could not have predicted the SEC investigation factor. So this is where I've put a chart for you. You see this little box? That was the SEC right there. We dropped minus 93% on HEX before the SEC. I was making countless videos here saying, oh crap, it looks like we didn't add any value, friends. It looks like we split the economic energy everywhere. And people wondering like, what's going on? What's going on? And I made all the videos. I made so many videos to tell you, go, look, it's the same people. We didn't add that many new people into PulseChain or PulseX, HEX and PX. It's the same people. We didn't recruit anyone new. It's the same circulating 150,000 people, just split with different ways. That's what happened. That's why the prices went their way. Now, I am simply describing what happened. I'm not saying what the future holds. The future might be very bright for 180 content creators with a loud megaphone who say PulseChain, PulseX, and HEX is real DeFi, Uniswap is fake DeFi, and all the other poopy things that are going on out there. Okay, so I'm not making a prediction of that. I'm just telling you this is the reality of the situation. It's also spooky how much the market was able to kind of like price it in. I also made a comment later on as well. So, right, so it's hard to swallow, right? The SEC did that, but Mr. Classical Ape, right, he goes, look, I am forgetting that Richard Hart had been fairly silent prior due to it. This was a bigger deal than most understand, but now's opportunity. This was a good response by Mr. Classical Ape and me. Look at this. It's good thinking to think like that. It's almost like the market was pricing in something going wrong because of Richard Hart's absence. It's almost like the mechanism of value is extremely efficient at it all. Yes, it is. What does efficient mean? It means it can process the happy, the neutral, and the fear. It can process them and give you information. Now, obviously, when they're giving you too much fear, you're like, yeah, stupid, man. You're not going to be sad forever. But people can't think like that, yeah? But they knew. They knew something was wrong. That's why it dumped. They knew. They knew something's different here. Go back and listen to all the influencers. What was everyone saying? They said, this thing's been a bit different, man. Richard Hart's talking about poop coins. He made the Peppy PulseX yield farm. He's doing all this altcoin trash. Things aren't working as well. There's been bugs, random stuff. He's not streaming. He's not talking. Right? So the market knew. It knew. But not in the sense where it knew an SEC attack was coming. No. It knew because the market said, wait a minute. The most influential man in this ecosystem to price this asset for adoption and to get more Metcalfe's Law people nodes, the most important asset, he's silent right now. So if he's silent, the value drops because people go, oh, we feel sad. And that's exactly what happened. Now, of course, I'm not making a prediction, friends. I'm just telling you, perhaps in the future, we're stronger for it. But I'm simply describing to you what happened. Because it was really, no pun intended, it was like a rug pulled under you. Cold water thrown on your face. I love cold showers, by the way. I have them every day. Okay, that's what it was like. It was like, ah! Some people say it's like ripping the Band-Aid off. How do you think about it? I think about you because I appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe, bell button, all to Mum and Daddy love and appreciate them too. Catch you soon.